Hello friends, we are going to start our new chapter, Princess September. Let us start. There are some 3 points. Part 1. Let us start. Princess September, like each one of her numerical sisters, received with the gift of parrots in a golden cage on her father's birthday. The parrot died, and by chance a singing bird came in its place. The princess shows off her pet to the sisters, who advise her to put in a cage. Let us start the story. The king and queen of Sim has many daughters, and the queen said that it is confused her to have the remaining so many names. One day the queen decided to call them January, February, March, through of course in similar, till he came to the youngest who has called September. The king of Sim has the king of Sama has a presiding habit. Instead of receiving gifts on her birthday to have to give them. One year on her birthday, not having another anything else handle, he gave each of her daughter a green parrot in a golden cage. The princess was very proud of their pirates, and they spent an hour every day in teaching them to talk. Presently, all the parrots could say good God save the king, and some of them could say pretty pool in no less than 7 original languages. But one day, when Princess September went to say good morning to her parrot, she found it lying dead at the bottom of his golden cage. She brought into a food of teas, and nothing that her maid of honor could say confused her. She cried so much that the maid of honor, not knowing what to do, told the queen, and the queen said it was still and noisy, and the child has better go to the bed without any surprise. The men of Horn want to go to the party. So they put Princess September to bed as quickly as they could and left her by herself. And while she lying in her bed, crying still even tones, she felt rather hungry. She saw a little bird hop into her room. She wiped her tears and sat up. Then the little bird began to sing, and he saw a wonderful song all around the lake in the king's garden, and the wailing trees that looked at themselves in the still water, and the golden fish that floated in and out of the branch that would reposed in it. When he had finished, the princess was not crying anymore, and she quite forgot that she had no surprise. Suppose that was very nice song, she said. The little bird gave him a bow. Would you care to have me in place for your parrot? Said that the little bird. It is true that I am not so pretty to look at, but the other hand, I had much better voice. Princess September clapped her hand with decision, and then the little bird hopped onto the end of her bed and sang her to sleep. When she wake next day, the little bird was still there, and as she opened her eyes, he said, "Good morning." The maid of honor brought it her breakfast, and it rise out of her hand, and he had his bath in his senses. He breathed He bring to sing. He bring to sing again so beautifully that the maid of horn was quietly surprised, for they had never heard anything like it. And the Princess September was very proud and happy. Now I want to show you to my 8 sisters, said the princess. She surprised out the first finger of her right hand so that it served perfect, and the little bird flew down and sit on it. Then, following by her maid of honor, she went through the place and called on each of the princes, and for each of them the little bird sing a different song. But the parrot could only say, "Go, God save the king, save the God save the king and pretty Paul." At least, at least she showed the little bird to the kings and the queens. They would surprise than eligible. I know I was right to send you to bed without any surprise. Surprise, said the queen. These birds sing much better than the parrot, said the king. I should have through you get quite tired of having people says, God save the king, and said the king. Said the queen. I cannot think why those girls want to teach their parrots to say it too. The simultaneously admitted, said the queen. And I never how often I heard, but I do get try to handling through parrots, says pretty Paul. They say it is 7 different languages, said the princess. I dare say those do, said the king. But it remind me too much of my council. They said the same thing in 7 different ways, and it never anything in any word that they say it. The princess was excited at this and moment, and the parrot looked very grumbling intent. But the Princess September ran through all the rooms of the place, singing like a lark, which the little bird flew around and around her, sing like a nightling glare. Thinking went on the like on like this 7 days, and the 8 princes put their hands together. They went to the September and sat down in a circle around her. My poor September, they said, we are sorry for the death of your beautiful parrot. It must be darkful for you not to have a pet bird as we have. So we have all put our pocket money together, and we are going to buy you a lovely green and yellow parrot. Thank you for nothing, said princess. I have a pet bird which sings the most trembling songs to me, and I do not know what on earth I should do with a green and yellow parrot. Well, my dear, they said, it is obviously to talk of your bird when the little fling in and out just as he like. They look around the room and raise their eyebrow. Do you mind our asking when your bird is now? They said. He has gone to pay a visit to his father-in-law, said Princess September. And what make you think he will come back? Asked the princess. He always do come back, said September. Well, my dear, say the eight princes. If you will take our advantage, you would not run any race like that. If he come back, and mind you, if he does, you will be luckily pop him into a cage and keep him there. That is only way you can be sure of him. But I like to have him fly about the room, said the youngest Princess September. Safely first, said her sister Omeligan. They got up and walked out of the room, shaking their hands, and they left September very uneasily. Let us start part 2. The 3 points. Let us go through it. Princess September loved the birds far too much to take care and act upon her sister's advice. The bird cannot overcome the loss of the freedom. Princess September decided to put the birds happy about her own. Let us start the story. It's since the Princess September that her little bird has been away a long time. Something might have happened to him. What with her and with Snake, you never know what trouble he might get into. Besides, he managed to forget her, or he managed to take a fancy, another fancy 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 to somebody else. That would be dreamful. She wished her were safely back again. Suddenly September heard a twinkle twinkle just behind her ear, and she saw the little bird sitting on her shoulder. She had come in so quietly and singing so softly that she had not had her. I wonder what on earth had become of you, said the princess. I thought you did not want that, said the little bird. The fact is, I did not come back tonight at all. My father-in-law was giving a party and they all want to me to stay. But I thought you did not be excited. Under the circumstances, this was very unforgettable remark for the little bird to make. September filled her heart to dump against her chest, and she made up her mind to take no more risks. She put up her hand and took to hold of the bird. The bird surprised nothing, and he was so surprised when she carried him over the cage, popped him in, and shut the door on him that for a moment he could think for nothing to say, but in a moment or two he hopped up to the I was person and said, "What is the joke?" "This is no joke," said September, "but someone of Mana's catch are reading about tonight, and I think you are much safe in there." "Well, just for this once I do not mind," said the little bird, "so long as you let me out in the morning." He ate a very good supper and then began to sing. But in the middle of his song he stopped. "I do not know what is the matter with me," he said, "but I do not feel like singing tonight." "Very well," said September, "go to sleep instead." She had put her head under his wing and in a minute was fast asleep. September went to the sleep too, but when he drove back she was awake by the little bird calling her at the top of his voice. Wake up, he said. Open the door of this cage and let me out. I want to have a good fly while the draw is still on the ground. You are much better off where you are, said September. Let me out, said the little bird. And he tried to slip through the birds of the cage, but of course would not. He beat again the door, but of course she could not open it. He could not open it. Then the eight princes come in and look at him. They told September she was very nice to take the advice. They said he would soon get us to the cage and in a few days would quietly forget he has even been free. This little bird says nothing at all while they were there, but as soon as they were going to begin to cry again, let me out. Do not be such an old silly, said September. I have put you in the cage because I am so fond of you. I know what is good for you much better than you do yourself. Sing me a little song, and I will give you a piece of sugar. But the little bird stood in the courage and his cage, looking out at the blue sky and never sing a note. What is the good singing, said September. Why don't you sing and forget your trouble? How can I sing? Answered the bird. I want to see the tree and the lake, the green rising in the field. I will take you out every day, he said. It is not the same thing, said the little bird. The rising field and the lake and the wailing tree look quite different when you see them through the bars of the cage. The bird would not sing a song and he would not eat a thing. The princess was a little annoying at this, and he asked her sister what they thought about it. You must be free, they said. But if he would not eat, he will die, she answered. That would be very unforgettable for him, and they said, he must know that you are only thinking of his own good. If he is obedient and die, it will be serve him right, and you will be well rid of him. September did not see how that was going to do her very much good, but they would eat at once and all older than she. So he said nothing. Perhaps he will have got use of his cage by tomorrow, she said. The next day, when she awake, she cried out good morning in a careful voice. She got an answer. She jumped out of bed and ran into the cage. She gave a startling cry. For that the little bird lay. At the bottom, on his seat, with his eyes closed, and he looked as if he would die. She opened the door and pulled her hand in, lifted him out. She gave a sort of relief, for she found that his little head was breathing still. Wake up, little bird, she said. She began to cry and her tears fell into the bird. He opened his eyes and saw that the birds out of the cave were no longer around him. I cannot sing unless I am free, and if I cannot sing, I die, he said. The princess give a great job. Then take your freedom, she said. I shut you in a golden cage because I love you and want to have you all to myself. But I Never know it would kill you. I love you enough to let you be happy in your own way. She threw open the window and gently placed the little bird on the sill. She shocked him a little. Come and go, as you will, little bird says. I will never put you in a cage anymore. I will come because I love you, the little princess, said the bird, and I will sing you the lovely song I know. I shall go far, but I shall always come back, and I shall never forget you. He gave himself another shake. Good grief me, how tough I am, he exclaimed. Then he opened his wing and flew right away into the blue. But the little prince burned into tears, for it was very difficult to put the happiness of someone you love before you own. And with her little but far out of seeing, she felt of all of suddenly very lonely. When her sister know what happened, they mocked her and said that the little bird would never return. But he did at last, and he had sat on September's shoulder and it out of her head and sing her the beautiful song he had learned while he was flying up and down the far place of the world. September kept her window open a day and night so that the little bird might come into her room, whether he felt inclement, and they were very good for her. So she great executed beautiful. And when she was old enough, she married the king of Glimsling and was carrying on a white elephant all the way to the city in which the king lived. But her sister never slept with her windows open, so they great exactly ugly as well as disgusting. When he kept the time come to marry them, of they would giving away to the kings of Glimsing with a pound of teas and a slim sketch. Thank you. This is the story. We will start our new chapter tomorrow. Thank you.